Hello everybody and welcome. Sneaky Chiefy here bringing you another TAW tournament video. This one is game 2 in round 2 of Super League. And the TAW member playing is Krinski here in red, who we're watching at the moment. He's playing as the Portuguese. His opponent in blue, playing as the Vietnamese, is DaisyChain. The tournament, as I said, is Super League 1v1. These two are in the division, the Iron Division. And if you haven't been watching these videos, the Super League is a reverse draft system where you pick your opponent's civ and vice versa. So game 1 went to DaisyChain. He was the Italians playing against Krinski's Celts and did a fairly good archer build. Managed to snipe a whole lot of Krinski's villagers, and despite Krinski's best efforts and booming, he was able to take game 1 on Arabia. Game 2 here is Arena, as you can see, and gotta say, Portuguese are a great arena civ. We could see a fast castle into special unit build for those organ guns from Krinski, and once those organ guns are rolling, they're practically unstoppable. Rat and archers are no joke though, but I think organ guns take out rat and archers for sure. The map is an interesting. We mentioned it's arena, but look how close the two players are together. Not opposite sides of the map, incredibly close. There's also some weird kind of peninsulas going on here. Very thin wood lines here, so players will have to be careful. And the other thing I noticed is there's actually a gap, a tile gap between this wood line and blue's wall, and if blue does not notice that, this is not a secure peninsula, which is a horrible map generation for blue, I gotta say. And I love red's little pocket back here that he's already put his lumber camp in. Relics, fairly well distributed. I'd give a slight advantage to probably blue, just because this one here is so far in the corner, it's basically blues. This one is right in front, also basically blues. This one is in the middle. Yeah, it's about fair. It's about even. Forward stone for red, not the best, but there's also forward stone for blue here as well. Blue's got both his golds in the back, so if we're talking simply map generation, blue's got that going for him. Even with that kind of gap between the forest and the wood line there, or forest and the wall. So we could see two special units, the rats and archers versus the organ guns. That'd be interesting. I don't know if we'll see a hunt for relics or not at this level. I'm noticing that both players aren't pushing their deer in, which is interesting. I also see some early idle TC time from red translating to a bit of a delay on villagers, as we see 16 to 15. That's what 10 seconds of idle TC time will get you for sure. Idle eco is about even at 22 and 25 seconds apiece. Red setting up to possibly push his deer in here. Yep. The thing about arena is it's free food. These deer always spawn inside your walls. Might as well push them. TAW Member Canada has a great strategy for that in pushing deer immediately, so that you could spend your time with the scout scouting things out afterwards. He suggests it's the very first thing you do in the arena. The first food source you gather should be your deer. Take that piece of advice or leave it. It's out there in the world now. It's been said. Second lumber camp coming down pretty quickly for blue, as he already has 4 on wood, so could be another archer build from the Vietnamese player. Now, wouldn't that be interesting? Imperial skirmishers versus organ guns. Wonder who would win that one. I don't know. Organ guns are technically siege. They're not archers. So, Imperial skirmishers might get mulched up. I don't think I've ever seen that between those two. Blue scouting around, deciding not to push his deer. His score difference is probably because of that extra scouting. That's how much of the map he sees so far. Taking a look at his opponent. Trying to find all the relic positions, I'd imagine. All the gold piles and any kind of intel you can get. The Vietnamese already knowing where the starting TC is. Not a great advantage on Arena, which is fairly straightforward in finding your opponent, but... And here we see Red. He's pushed in all his deer and deleted some walls, dropping his second lumber camp and sending his scout out to see what's what in the world. Field time for both players. Slight advantage to Red by about 20 seconds. Nothing major. It could translate to a scout battle, though. Faster speed, more attack. Four to gold already is Red. Doesn't look like a fast castle. But he's going to stone now too. So I do think he's going to go for organ guns. I would have expected a few more Dark Age farms for a fast castle build. On the other side, Blue, he's got more farms down, some sheep left to go, and now he's hunting. He's only got 2 on gold. So neither will be like the fastest of castles. They both clicked up a little low as well for a fast castle build. Which is probably the biggest indicator, and one that I did not call out, so I'm apologizing for that. Blacksmith coming down for Red, right in the corner, right front and center. Loom just coming in for Blue. Interesting. Not a tech you see get chosen very quickly. 4 on gold, though, is interesting. Krinski might be thinking of abusing the market. More farms going down. Population is 26 to 25. Blue is now on his way up to castle. Effectively doing the fast castle build. And none on stone yet. No barracks out for either player. So Blue clicking up to castle age at 25. He won't have the strongest eco behind that. So not sure. I mean, that's the... Okay, Blue probably sees that hole now. This hole could really come in if a town center gets put down here without realizing this. That this could be game changing right there. So keep an eye on that. We'll see. Red still going for wheelbarrow instead of castle age. He's got a whole lot of gold miners. Maybe sell the stone and buy your way up to castle. Gonna want that stone if you're going organ guns though, so I don't know. Blue moving forward with his scout and some forward villagers. Maybe a second TC in this area. Let's see. Red keeping an eye out on the neutral relic. There is indeed that second town center, right away from the castle age player. Red seeing his opponents in castle. Looked like he bought some food with that extra gold he had. So he'll be a full 2 minutes, 2.5 minutes behind. As we see a monastery come down from Blue, and a third TC. Thinking this is a fight Blue will win. Yeah, just barely. So Blue will start going for relics. and will probably win the relic war if he plays it right, because red's still a minute or so behind to castle age. Red has plenty of stone at this point, so could drop a second town center and a castle at this rate, which is very likely his plan. Still berries on the field. Blue now tied at 31 villagers apiece. He'll have 3 TCs working, though he doesn't look like he's got enough food to keep all 3 TCs active. So, I mean, that's okay though. I think the town center's protecting resources, setting some map control up, but ideally you would have, was it 10 farms per town center? And I'm seeing 15 here. Blue sniping the closest relic from red already. It looks like he might even get all 5. There's the castle, so we will see the famous organ guns. There's the second town center in his little pocket that he's made for himself. As the first of the relics comes in for blue, he's going to stick with 2 monks. Red might just be giving up relic control completely, not even worrying about it, as I don't see a monastery going down. Probably the smart move at this point. You know that you're 2.5 minutes behind on castle age, but you never want to give up completely on relics, I'd say. Even if you can get 1, it goes a long way. Here come the organ guns, though. It's going to be hard to stop those. I don't see any military besides the scout on the field, unless you're counting the monks for blue. So the real question is, what will blue do to respond here? Blue getting watchtower and wheelbarrow. The thing about organ guns, and just like the conquistadors, is they come out of the castle pretty much ready for battle. You don't need to worry too much about military upgrades, and that's a lot of resources that you can spend on more organ guns, for example. And we see red going heavy on stone so that he can build another castle and get that organ gun production rolling like no one's business. The second castle might even go right here to secure more stone for yet another castle. It could go over here to secure these 2 gold mines. Probably the better choice is over this way, as we'll see what red does here. Okay, both defensive, and it does secure some gold. It's a good choice to keep them defensive. These are, if you're going organ guns, that's your main production unit, right? So it makes sense to keep them relatively safe behind your walls so that you can maximize that. Blue getting all 5 relics now. Still no military buildings whatsoever. So blue is content to boom away. Red is content to put some pressure on here. And it's 52 vills to 47. So blues, and we'll take a look at the idle TC time. See the 7.5 minutes of idle TC time is because blue did not have enough farms initially to support all 3 town centers. And sure, he's got the eco lead at the moment, but it could be greater. It's just kind of my 2 cents on that. Here comes the barracks. As we see another town center coming in, blue scouts that out. This is a good town center for this stone pile. And a petard. A couple petards too, so quickly knock down that gate. I love it. Double castle production. Look at all these organ guns queued up. Krinski's got a build in mind and he's executing it. Organ guns cost wood and gold, I believe. They have 7 range, so they outrange a castle age TC. Cause 16 damage, and the thing is they spread, so if you get a big group of units, such as archers or skirmishers, they just melt because the damage spreads out from these organ guns. You see the first kill for red as the petards get sniped by the town center. Not quite. Oh, the gate goes down. That's huge. So will the organ guns walk through here? Looks like they will. So slow. Oh, that death was huge. This is huge right there. Oh, and they have to retreat under town center fire. What a gate. What a save. Red, what are you doing? Run away, buddy. He keeps trying to jam his way in. Is he going to sit? It's still under town center fire. Ah, that's horrible for Red. He loses so many organ guns there for no reason. He could have played it a bit more safe. He went for the gate play, and if he'd attacked this gate, he'd be in and walking through. As it stands, this town center will go down. There's not much Blue can do about it. Blue's probably thinking, what do I do now? Archery range, university, to give yourself a bit more time with those building upgrades, as capture age lags thanks to all the gunpowder. And now a mangonel for good measure. Sorry about the lag there, folks. It started as soon as these organ guns started firing. Okay, there's the panic castle from Blue, which is the right call. It's the only thing that's going to slow down all these organ guns. As Blue loses his forward town center. Vills are 61 to 68 in Blue's favor at the moment, as more organ guns just keep streaming in. Ballistics, handcart, and thumb ring. So it will be archers from the Vietnamese player. But there's only one archery range. The castle's the real savior here. Though Red could just march right around through this gap here. And take out another town center. He doesn't know that at the moment.
Oh, super score.
Battering ram will get knocked down by villagers. This won't be very effective. And it's going to be rats and archers. Okay. We will see rats and archers versus organ guns. Again, rat and archers are the anti-archer archer. But these aren't archer units. Organ guns are siege. So I don't know how that defense bonus works for a rats and archer. They have extra pierce armor. So I guess... yeah, it is pierce damage that organs face, so the rat and archers will benefit from that defensive bonus against organ guns. But that's 16 damage they're causing. It's not the, what is it, 8 to 10 or whatever of a crossbowman, and there's a ton of them. I love when they start firing, the whole game lags. 25 organ guns coming. Quick walls going down from Blue, who's just trying to wait till Imperial Age. I mean, monks might be the saving. They outrange the organ guns, so you can start. Although I don't know if is it redemption. I don't know if the Vietnamese get redemption or not. Redemption is the tech that allows you to convert siege units. So that might be a deciding factor too in this game, as the next gate goes down. And now, will Blue have enough? He has only got 200 stone, so not enough for another castle quite yet. These organ guns can just walk right in, basically, around this castle's range, as we see here. And as soon as they stop firing, it's so funny. Capture Age can't handle all the gunpowder. Okay, here we go. And see, when they get grouped together, the rat and archers just get melted. It's amazing to see Capture Age freeze up as soon as the gunpowder units start firing. Blue must have bought his way up to this castle. It's going to be a doubt castle, however. Blue is on the way to Imperial Age, but I don't think, you know, elite rat and archers aren't going to do too much better against these. The rat and archers do a lot of damage to the organ guns, though. What is Red thinking here? Oh, there goes the castle. I think Blue lost all that stone, too. That's huge. I think Red's thinking a forward castle right around here. What a messy game, as Red is sitting under TC fire. taking damage from these Rattan archers, but I think the advantage goes to the organ guns. These red villagers. Are they going to drop a castle over here? There's the red castle. Blue advances to Imperial Age. Losing villagers. He still has the lead. Does DaisyChain. What a messy, messy game. DaisyChain also has the score lead, but is under immense pressure right now. With a forward castle that is yet to be built because the organ guns take up so much space. There we go. 3 villagers building this castle. If there's ever been a doubt castle placement, it's this one right here, folks. I don't think red is too intimidated to see Imperial Age come in for blue at this moment. Trebuchets, I mean, that's all that gets you really, but there's a lot of distance to cover for those trebuchets and to get to those castles of blue, and yeah, the Rattan archers are just not the answer to these organ guns. And there's only one castle that's making trebuchets, so if we look at the military, 7 military to 35. Not to mention the forward castle right in front in the midst of blue's base. University going down. Houses going down. Look at all the smoke. There goes the monastery and all the relics. Blue has enough for another castle. He goes for his town center placement instead. There's the castle to protect. I like this choice from blue. It will cut off some reinforcements. And then red really does need to worry about getting to Imperial Age. The Treb will be effective on this forward castle, so I stand corrected there. I'd like to see all these just march in and start hitting this town center. They'll go in for the trebuchet instead. They kill a lot of vills too that blue was not expecting this little move forward from the red player. A lot of organ guns went down though. That castle will go up and more blue vills will get killed because of it. Red has enough res just about to get to Imperial Age. This blue castle is spoiling the... Is it ranging the TC too? Yeah, wow. Great forward castle placement. Battering rams coming in for the blue castle. More Rattan archers. It's all siege here from red. Battering rams and organ guns. Imperial Age 3 minutes away for red. Blue scrambling as he loses... No, yeah, I was going to say as he loses another town center. How many organ guns is this? 34. Blue just looking... or red looking for another thing to destroy. And he'll find a lot over here, I'll tell you what. 21 villagers. Red has the villager lead right now, 77 to 66. So you minus that 21, that's a third of blue's vills. Makes a big difference. This castle is really disrupting things though, as this castle is doing more work than the Rattan archers are. That's for sure. Yeah, red could even stop production in these two castles and just produce out of this one. Safer supply line, if you will. I'd like to see red be just a bit more aggressive. This TC could be dead already. He could move into this area. He could just move around back here, around this castle. But again, it's easier when you're the caster, in hindsight. Alright, resetted things here. Capture Age is working better again. We have a couple more trebs coming out. for blue, but red has moved around and starts sniping a few more villagers. Blue has to migrate in a big way. Red better watch out, he'll lose some of these organ guns. Red also in danger of losing this forward castle. Red just now hitting Imperial Age, but also losing his forward town center. Blue scrambling to keep his forward castle alive, but still not having an answer to all this organ guns here. 25 organ guns in the back of his base, cutting off these 2 golds, threatening everything. Rat and archers are not the answer. Trebuchet is good against castles and buildings, but also not the answer. This siege workshop, forward siege workshop from Red is a nice touch to continue adding battering rams. And the rat and archers just can't be everywhere at once. Siege is probably the right play from blue as he builds a monastery to collect these relics. Because siege, mangonels and whatnot would trade well with these organ guns. Siege have extra bonus damage to siege. And the rat and archers aren't terrible. I keep talking about how, but I think the organ guns are just better. Not all the organ guns are engaging here, but this turned out to be a really good fight for blue. Are these elite? Nope, not elite yet. Though they have the same range at 7. And red's gonna wish he didn't take that fight. Or at least clumped his units up a bit better. Of all the archers, rat and archers are the best to fight that many organ guns. But blue now kind of, despite being displaced, has done a good job kind of migrating north. He's kept this castle alive just barely and managed to get some trebs out. But this treb here should finish things for blue. That one shot is all that is needed. So here come the organ guns. There go the villagers, who now can kind of retreat back into their home base a bit safer now. Even these 3, like building a stable for scouts, would be devastating. Blue is collecting these relics again, which would be a much needed source of income. But military is 19-6 in favor of red. Villagers are 96-75, and the only treb out on the field right now is red's, as this blue one is about to die. So red's treb is getting the last castle from blue, and blue's relying on rat and archers. Obviously won't be a choice once this castle goes down.
Oh, super cool.
And this monastery quickly goes down as well. Red deciding to focus that down before the castle. Not a horrible choice. And blue will clean up these archers, which is unfortunate for red. Or clean up these villagers, forward villagers, which is unfortunate for red. But blue losing a whole lot of vills over here to just 2 organ guns, attacking with villagers. That's how you know your enemy is desperate. 98-65 is the villager count. 30 villager lead for red at this point. He keeps streaming organ guns out. And it's just, I don't see any way back for blue. He did a valiant effort in staying alive, but he's got no answer to these organ guns. Red did a very effective organ gun build, and once you get them streamed out, it's tough to handle them all. I'm expecting a GG anytime from blue, but no, he's building stables. He decides he's not done yet. It's a 40 villager lead for red now. As blue's main TC goes down to this random battering ram. Blue has another TC back here. He does not want to lose this game, blue. He's fighting with his vills. I mean, you gotta call it at this point. You got to. You're about to lose like 10 more vills. And that treb's not going anywhere. Battering rams coming up behind. Yeah, this is GG for sure. Blue will have to accept defeat. Red at full control. Yep, blue calls it. GG, well played. 1-1 is the series. Great job, Krinski. I love Portuguese. Was a great civ to get stuck with on Arena, I gotta say. Reverse draft in your favor here for sure. But it's not just that. You have to execute with your civ, and I think you did a great job of doing that, making sure you had enough wood and gold come Castle Age to start producing right away, and then enough stone to drop 2 castles in a relatively quick fashion so that you get the numbers up. 1 organ gun is not enough. You need a good 7 or so to be devastating. There were a few moments that really came into play. I think the forward castle and just being able to force Blue's castle to be here allowed you to sneak around and attack other areas of the eco. Your forward castle was a great idea. It really disrupted things and slowed stuff down. Blue had a really interesting moment here when the gate went down to 2 petards, but Blue's town center killed an organ gun just before the organ gun could cross the line, and that allowed Blue to drop a gate in replacement. And that gate in replacement allowed the town center to kill 7 or so red organ guns. That town center ended up going down. It did not make a difference, but it was a very interesting moment in the game, to say the least. And red didn't bother with relics. It wasn't part of his plan. He didn't expect them to come into play, and they really didn't. There's plenty of gold left on the map. The relic control, while good for blue, it only comes into play when we're talking real late game. So it's things like that that you need to consider. Do I want to spend gold on monks? Do I want to spend wood on a monastery? Do I want to spend villager time on both, or attention on both? Or would I prefer executing an organ gun spam? And I think the answer is clear here. So that was game 2. We are on to game 3, which I'm really looking forward to. It's been a great series between these 2 close-fought matches in both cases. Game 1 went to DaisyChain, Italians over Celts in Arabia. Game 2 went to Krinski, Portuguese over Vietnamese in Arena. And I will see you for game 3. Sneaky Chiefy signing out.